Good morning, students. Standard 8, Social Science, Geography Lesson 3, Continuation. Hydrologic Cycle. The previous class we saw about the hydrologic cycle, components of hydrologic cycle, evapotranspiration, evaporation and transpiration. Today's class we'll see about the condensation. So condensation is a process in which the gaseous form of water changes into liquid form. Already you know that evaporation is a liquid form of water changes into the gaseous form. So water evaporates and it forms a water vapor. That is the evaporation process. Condensation process is the gaseous form that evaporated water vapor. In that water vapor, it changes into liquid form. So condensation generally occurs in the atmosphere when warm air rises, cools and loses its capacity to hold water vapor. As a result, excess water vapor condenses to form cloud droplets. Condensation is responsible for the formation of clouds. These clouds produce precipitation, which is a primary route for water to return to the earth's surface in the water cycle. Condensation is the opposite of evaporation. So evaporation is a liquid water form became a water vapor, liquid form to gaseous form. Then condensation is from the gaseous form to, once again we are getting as a rainfall, the liquid form. Forms of condensation. Dew, frost, fog, mist and clouds are the different forms of condensation. So first we will see about the dew. So it is a water droplet formed by the condensation of water vapor on a relatively cold surface of an object. It forms when the temperature of an object drops below the dew point temperature. So the type of water droplets is called dew. And next one, it is a frost. The ice crystals formed by deposition of water vapor on a relatively cold surface of an object is known as frost. It forms when the temperature of an object drops below the freezing point of temperature. So the temperature when below freezing point it goes, the frost, that is a type of ice crystals. Next it is a fog. Fog is a suspended tiny water droplets or ice crystals in an air layer next to the earth's surface that reduces the visibility to 1000 meter or lower. That is for aviation purposes. The criterion for fog is 10 kilometer or less. Look at this. In this picture you can able to see clearly. If this is the fog is affected the transport system. Then it is mist. Mist is the tiny droplets of water hanging in the air. So these droplets form when the water vapor in the air is rapidly cooled, causing it to change from invisible gas to tiny visible water droplets. So from the invisible gas to it looks like a tiny visible droplets. கண்ணுக்கு தெரியிற துளி. So mist is less dense than fog. Fog only very dangerous for the transport system. We cannot see clearly fog it is. But mist is less dense than the fog. Clouds. Clouds consists of tiny water droplets, ice particles, which are so small and light in weight. Clouds are formed by microscopic drops of water or by small ice crystals. So we cannot see the naked eyes. Through the microscope we can see clearly. The size of the droplets generally range from a couple of microns to 100 microns. It is very smallest particle, tiny particles. So when the size of water droplets exceeds 100 microns, it becomes raindrops. Then when condensation occurs, when the air gets saturated, the saturated point only water vapor forms the clouds. Then from the saturation point, from clouds become a water droplets. Then water air, warm air can hold more water vapor than the cool air. So saturation occurs when the temperature drops down. When it cools, so when the saturation occurs means it is a that is a condensation. Generally it occurs in the atmosphere when warm air rises, cools and loses its capacity to hold water. As a result only we are getting rainfall. Next it is precipitation. So precipitation refers to all forms of water that fall from clouds and reaches the earth's surface. For the occurrence of precipitation, cloud droplets or ice crystals must grow heavy enough to fall through the air. So when the droplets grow large in size, they tend to fall. Then while moving down, by collecting some small droplets, they become heavy enough to fall out of the cloud as a raindrops. So this is a precipitation, rainfall. Here forms of precipitation now we will see. First it is the forms of precipitation in the region depends on the kind of weather or the climate of the region. So the precipitation in the warmer parts of the world is always in the form of rain or drizzle. So warmer part like India and all we are having the warm temperature only. Here we can get the rain or drizzle. நல்ல மழை வரும், நல்ல தூறல் வரும் அதான். So in cooler regions, precipitation may fall as snow or ice. Jammu and Kashmir and all we can see the snowfall and ice. Common types of precipitation are rain, sleet, freezing rain, hail and snow. Rain, the most common kind of precipitation is rain. The precipitation in the form of water droplets is called rain. The precipitation in which the size of raindrops are greater than 0.5 mm in diameter is known as drizzle. நம்ம தூறல் சொல்கிறோம்ல அதுதான். And the raindrops with less than 0.5 mm in diameter is known as the rain, that is மழை துளி. And generally drizzle takes place from stratus clouds, the type of clouds. From that only large particle of the rain, the drizzle, it falls. Next it is a sleet. Sleet is a precipitation which takes place in the form of mixture of water droplets and tiny particles of ice 5 mm in diameter, that is known as a sleet. So here sometimes raindrops fall through a layer of air below 0 degree Celsius, the freezing point of water. As they fall, the raindrops freeze into solid particles of ice. So the mixture of water droplets and ice particles would fall on the earth's surface. Freezing rain. Sometimes rainfall falling through cold air near the ground do not freeze in the air. So instead the raindrops freeze when they touch a cold surface. Look at the picture. It touches when the cold surface. It is a freezing rain. This is called the freezing rain, and the drops of water are usually greater than 0.5 mm in diameter. Next it is a hail. The ஆலங்கட்டி மழைன்னு சொல்லுவோம்ல அதுதான் hailstones. So the precipitation which consists of round pellets of ice which are larger than 5 mm in diameter, it is called hail or hailstones. Hail forms only in cumulonimbus clouds during thunderstorms. A hailstone starts as an ice pellet inside a cold region of a cloud. Strong updrafts in the cloud carry the hailstone up and down through the cold region many times. Look at the picture. These are hail or hailstones. Snow. water vapor in a cloud is converted directly into snow pieces due to lowering of temperature. It appears like a powdery mass of ice. The precipitation in the form of powdery mass of ice is known as snowfall. So the powdery form, it is known as a snowfall. It is common in the polar and high mountainous regions. This picture shown the different forms of precipitation: rainfall, sleet, freezing rain, hail and snow. Infiltration. So water entering the soil at the surface of the ground is termed as infiltration. Infiltration allows the soil temporarily to store water, making it available for plants' use and organisms in the soil. Infiltration is an important process where rainwater soaks into the ground through the soil and underlying rock layers. Some of this water ultimately returns to the surface through springs or low spots down hills. So some of the water remains underground and it is called groundwater. The rate of infiltration is influenced by the physical characteristics of the soil, vegetative cover, moisture content of the soil temperature and rainfall intensity. So the terms infiltration and percolation are often used interchangeably. Look at the infiltration process. Heavy precipitation, rainfall. Here on the earth, the water entering the soil at the surface of the ground, it is termed as the infiltration. Actually, here it is two types: less infiltration and more infiltration. Here, where there is a less infiltration, the non-porous soils and rocks, in this place it is a less infiltration. But here more infiltration in porous soils and rock. So this is the water table. Here water table it rises through this infiltration process. Next process is the percolation process. Percolation is a downward movement of infiltered water through the soil and rock layers. So infiltration occurs near the surface of the soil and delivers water from the surface into the soil and plant root zones. Then percolation moves the infiltered water through the soil profile and rock layers, which leads to the formation of groundwater or become a part of subsurface runoff process. Thus, the percolation process represents the flow of water from unsaturated zone to the saturated zone. Look at this picture. You come to know through this percolation process. Here the evaporation it takes place, then condensation, then here it is a precipitation. Through the evaporation, transpiration also. Evaporation, transpiration, then it is a condensation. Next process it is a precipitation. After the precipitation, it is a runoff water and percolation, infiltration, takes place.
Evapotranspiration. It is defined as the total loss of water from the earth through the evaporation from the surface water bodies and the transpiration from vegetation. In cropped area, it is difficult to determine the evaporation separately. Therefore, it is collectively called as evapotranspiration. Evaporation. Evaporation refers to the process in which the liquid form of water changes into gaseous form. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius temperature, but it actually begins to evaporate at 0 degrees Celsius. There is a positive relationship between temperature and the rate of evaporation. Areal extent of surface water, wind, and the atmospheric humidity are the other variables which affect the rate of evaporation. Many studies reveal that the oceans, seas, lakes, and the rivers provide nearly 90% of the moisture in the atmosphere through evaporation, and the remaining 10% is contributed by plants through transpiration. The evaporation is more prevalent over the oceans than precipitation, while over the land, precipitation routinely exceeds evaporation. Transpiration. It is the process by which water content in the plants are released into the atmosphere in the form of water vapor. The rate of transpiration is also affected by the temperature, wind, and humidity. The soil water content and the ability of the soil to conduct water to the roots, the nature of the plant parts, including barks and leaves, also determine the transpiration rate. In case of agriculture, the crop characteristics, its environment, and the cultivation practices also affect the transpiration process.